Meredith Show. I am super excited about today's guest because we're going from east to west and back to east. Joey Mazza is with us today, and he's coming to us from Philadelphia. And I'm coming to you, of course, from my hometown, Los Angeles. I am so excited for you, all of you watching, to meet entrepreneur and unlicensed therapist, Joey Mazza. He's a leadership, accountability, and productivity expert who helps people cut through the overwhelm and confusion of their business, resulting in efficient, effective, and productive systems. I love my systems. Thank you. He does this to get people to fall in love with their business again. And we are all about the love on the Meredith Show. Welcome, Joey Mazza. So good to have you.
Good to be here. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
So let's start at the beginning, because a lot of people see somebody like yourself who has a successful coaching practice and they think that's nice. I would love to know like how he got there. And you actually had a very untraditional but super inspiring story behind how you became a coach. And it actually began with your lovely wife, Michelle. You two started a business many years ago in the cleaning industry. And I love that you shared that you shared in a little bit of your background before we got on the show. She started with her Dodge Neon. My sister had one, and cleaning supplies from Walmart. I love that you keep it real. And now you have this huge business 17 years later. And I know it was a journey. Tell us a little bit about the story of your first business.
So my wife decided that she wanted to stay home more with the kids. And she had, at that point, doing some work with H&R Block. They offered her a promotion. And she's like, I'm just going to go clean houses. And the thought that went through my head was like, wait a minute, you're going to clean houses? Like, you got two kids. And she said, yeah, my mom used to clean houses. I could probably write some letters. And she picked up like 5 houses like right away, but I just didn't see how that was going to like be something sustainable.
Right.
And then she, at that point, she started doing like really like detailed cleaning. And I was like, well, wait a minute, like, it's like you're doing car detailing, but for like a home. I was like, I think you got something here. And then, of course, one thing led to another, and, the business just started evolving, and we started coining like the phrase like home detailing, because no one else was using it. Like, we Googled it, and there was maybe another company, I want to say maybe in Kentucky, it was somewhere down in the South that actually had that phrase too, but like nowhere else. Like, I Googled to the ends of earth trying to find a cleaning service that was using.
It's your homework. A lot of business owners don't, to stay out of trouble. I wanted
to be able to say that we started it. So it was like, I wanted to like coin it. I wanted to use it. And we never really did anything because there was like maybe a couple, but it was like, it just wasn't in existence. And that's kind of where it took off. And, we just started, we started working together, and it got a little ugly because, it's your spouse's, it's her business, and then I'm joining in.
Listen, I'm divorced because I shared my business many years ago. I mean, that did not go well for me. So bless you both.
Yes. So I don't think it ever got that bad, but we did we did like getting shouting matches like in the middle of the night on job sites. No. I mean, if there was cameras, they definitely have us like screaming at each other. But as it evolved, we kind of figured out where our lanes were. And then, I spent most of the time marketing the business and booking work and trying to find new types of cleaning to do.
And you're being humble, by the way. I just want to stop you for a second. You've now been in business for 17 years. And not only have you two grown the business together, but you've actually expanded into like other markets, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's amazing. And you said that your company is now actually the inspiration for other people that work for you to start similar services. I mean, that's a sign of some good systems. I spies a story about systems because your system is what worked. And that led you to the next phase of your career, which I'm here to share. I cannot wait my audience to hear about, because it's super inspirational how it came together. So tell me how you discovered your gift with coaching, or why coaching was valuable in the first place.
So I started, I got to the point where I could really book almost anybody. I mean, I got really good at like closing the deal and getting, because mostly I was dealing with realtors and their clients, and I was able to book these bigger jobs. But we couldn't handle them as fast enough. So I kind of had like downtime, And I would BS with a lot of contractors and just, they would just be complaining about their business. And I would just, why don't you try this? Why don't you do that? Why isn't that working? And stuff people were utilizing the suggestions that I was just, having over coffee. So I enjoyed it. I was like, well, wait a minute, I could do this all day, because I didn't find it to be stressful or, I found it to be challenging, but like challenging, like playing Tetris, where like you're having fun doing it. So I wanted to do more of it, but the opportunity didn't really lead itself at that moment because we're trying to deal with the cleaning business. But as time evolved and labor became hard to come by, and we had to decide on how we wanted to shift the business to pivot, kind of pre-pandemic and then pandemic.
Pardon me, I'm just going to say that's a real nugget itself. So for everybody watching, one of the things I see that causes businesses to fail, obviously from showcasing so many companies and entrepreneurs through the years, is not being willing to pivot. So you were in the middle of a pivot, is what I hear you saying, which is really essential. As times change, you get to change, and often that means your business too, right?
Yeah, we decided to pivot, but it wasn't fast enough. We actually were not pivoting the right way, but we knew that something had to happen. And unfortunately, we lost a lot of people for labor because like once the pandemic did actually happen, nobody was working. So we reshuffled things to keep the business going. But that's when we both had an epiphany that maybe sustainably the cleaning's not going to define us the next 25 years. And we were young enough to kind of pivot ourselves. So she started having a different passion. I had a different passion. It's like, wait a minute, we could still keep the business and utilize it to make money. But I told her, I was like, I want to do this coaching thing. Like, I really enjoy it. I was like, and if that takes off, it's perfect for me because I don't have to rely on as many people as with cleaning. You have to have an army of soldiers to do your work. But, in this environment, I don't really need as many people as a support staff because most of the stuff is on me. And then I deal with other professionals and retired business owners, and they're not necessarily on my payroll. They're more as needed. So it was kind of like a no-brainer for me to just dive into this world because I was having fun, I can make money, and I didn't have to worry about like constantly looking for employees all the time.
Very true. And from what I understand, you kind of have a niche, like you work with a lot of people who are in a similar industry. So tell me a little bit about how you decided to do that and why it works.
So I like dealing with contractors most of the time because they go through the same things that I went through. So, and they're usually frustrated because most contractors were really good at being a plumber, carpenter, an electrician, and they broke away from whoever they worked for to start their own business. The problem was they didn't go to school to run a business. They went to school to become a carpenter or a plumber. So as after they get their certain wave of clients in, the business now starts to go from good to like really good, but then they hit this hump because they can't get over it because now they got to really scale the business, but and they're frustrated because if they don't have enough staff or they don't have enough financing to get equipment, they kind of get in a lull. So it was, it was exactly what I went through. It was exactly what me and Michelle went through. So I'm like, wait a minute, I could guide this. Like, this is not complicated. And then I realized contracting is no different than other services. So whether you're an accountant, a lawyer, so I could deal with an insurance broker because they're all running the same exact problems. They just may not have as much labor, but they still have the same problems of leaving a career to do it themselves and not understand the business side of it. So that's where we come in.
That's crazy. Well, time is flying by and we're close to it being out of time, but I've got to say what I love most about you is you created the Pennyworth Group now, and you say you don't pull punches. Like you literally not only give clients everything that you have, but that you're willing to have uncomfortable conversations and hold people accountable. And every time I talk to somebody who's had success in their life, they've had somebody who's held them to the fire and has been willing not to be nice or just kind, but keep it real. Like, tell them what they really need to do, what's in the gap. It's almost like a continuous conversation of what's working and what's not working. And I think what works about you is you were relentless. I think that no matter what, you and Michelle probably would have been successful because of your attitude, frankly. And as you said, you have to have a really good attitude in business to move things forward. As we round out, by the way, fun fact I have to share before we're out of time and we almost have to go now, is that Mr. Mazza is a huge Batman collector with over 10,000 comic books. So if you wonder what's around him, that's pretty fun. He actually has a whole room, you said, of Batman stuff?
Whole room.
A whole room. It's a kid's dream come true, or any huge fan. I don't care who you are. That's pretty cool. And so that's really cool. And also you were named like a collector's champion.
Yeah, I joined some Facebook group a while back. Someone asked me to come on, and every month they were picking, you'd submit some pictures and they asked you a bunch of questions. And it's funny, they just told me well, for the month of March, you're a collector's champion. They featured my room on the page for a whole month, and it was kind of funny because there was 130 some odd thousand members of this group, and and I got picked, and I was in awe because I have a very extensive collection, but I'm sure there's plenty of people that have one larger than mine.
Well, you're very unique and inspirational, Joey. What would you like to leave people who might be, like you said, in a second season of their life, maybe never had a coach? What advice do you have for them? And obviously I'd say hire you, Joey, hire a coach, but there's a lot you've learned through the years. So what would you like to say for everybody who's listening, who might be discouraged or frustrated like you inherit? What would you say to them as we round out our segment?
It's never too late to start something new. And there's always people that you need to surround yourself with to do it, because no matter how successful somebody has become, they didn't do it by themselves.
That's right. You always move forward faster when you're not alone, which is why I love this show, because we can reach so many people. As you know, Joey, the fastest growing audience is online. So that is so cool. And if anybody watching at home is even half as inspired as we are by Joey's story, I know somebody out there doing something amazing. So please do us a favor and take a little time and share the love. And share this segment and show if you found it inspirational. We loved hearing your story, Joey. In fact, I'd like to invite you back in the future. All of you can follow me on Facebook under The Meredith Show, and my name, Meredith Allen. Thank you so much for watching, for those of you tuning in. Thank you, Joey, for joining us from the Philly area, yo. It's so good to be back with somebody from my hometown, by the way. Lots of people think I was born and raised in LA. Not the truth. I'm a Philly girl deep down inside. So I would like to put in an order for a soft pretzel and a hug. We get to meet in person someday, Joey. Thank you so much for being on the show and sharing your story.
Oh, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
It's absolutely an honor. And for everybody watching, you can catch The Meredith Show on YouTube. You can catch us on Roku and the Motivation and Success TV network. Until next time, I hope you take a little time and let your biggest gift shine. Thanks for watching. If you liked today's episode, we hope that you'll like us on Facebook and stay connected. You can find us under The Meredith Show there, and on Instagram under The Meredith Show. And if you or somebody you think will make a great guest, please email us at meredith@themeredithshow.com, and my team will set up an appointment right away.